Yo, what's up, everybody? It's KB here. So, you feel like your PC is getting slow. Well, there are many reasons why PC gets slower as you use it, or maybe you just bought it but still feels like it's really slow. You know, to identify the issue and fix that issue, you need to learn to monitor your PC first. And now you're probably thinking, what the heck is monitoring a PC and how do I monitor my PC? Actually, it's very simple. To monitor your PC, you can simply use Task Manager. You don't even need any extra software. Okay, so monitoring means you just monitor your PC performance. Okay, so I'm sure that you know about the Task Manager. You can find it by right clicking on the taskbar, or you can just do the search here, Task Manager, and it will open up the Task Manager. You know, the most common reason for slower PCs is 99% of the time software. Some kind of software is making your PC slow. So if you learn to monitor your PC from the task manager, you can easily identify what software is causing the problem. Okay. And I'm being honest here. This is the only best way to identify the slower PC's problem. Once we finish talking about the monitoring our PC, we will talk about the other reasons maybe making your PC slow. So let's just talk about the task manager and monitoring your PC first, and then later on we will talk about the more stuffs. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so now let's start with simple example. Take a closer look at my task manager and everything, whatever you see here, and tell me, do you see any problem that might be causing my PC to be slow? Yeah, there is one problem, the GPU usage. You can see GPU usage is 50%, which is really high. If you're not using your PC and your GPU, CPU, disk, or memory is being used at like 50% above, or even a 20-30%, that means something is using your CPU, RAM, GPU, whatever you see at the peak, at the highest percentage. So right now in my PC, you can see my GPU is being used at like half, 50%. And I need to identify what software is causing that problem. So I can just click on that percentage. You can see here, right here, the OBS Studio is actually using my GPU at 50%, which is really high. And actually, I'm recording this video, that's why I don't mind OBS Studio to use the GPU. So yeah, I mean, this is just an example. This is how you identify which software is using your lots of CPU, RAM, and GPU, or even a network, or even a disk. So you need to take a good look at these numbers up here. If they are below 10%, your PC is good. Okay, it is in good condition. So here you can see, as I said, I'm recording my video here. Right here you can see that's why it is using the GPU a lot. Okay, same thing for if you want to identify which is using the most of the CPU, you just click on the percentage of that CPU like that, and you can see still the OBS is using the most of the CPU because I'm recording, as I said. So in your case, if you see any of these numbers higher than 10%, you should check. Maybe it might be some kind of malware or some kind of unwanted software that you don't want to use. But in my case, the OBS Studio is not unwanted software. I want to use it right now because I'm recording the video. Otherwise, if I'm not using the OBS Studio, you can just simply guess. The GPU will be at 0% for sure, and CPU will be at around 3%, for sure. And you can see memory also will be around 5 to 7%. Same goes for the disk. Okay, you can see this is how you monitor your PC, and this is how you find out which software is using your resources and making your PC slower. So that's that. And another way, you can click on the performance here and take a look at the like CPU. This is like the base and this is the ceiling. Okay, make sure that these lines here, you can see CPU activity, these are like lines, pulse, like pulse lines. Yeah, make sure that these are not hitting the ceilings, like it's not going at the 100%. Same, it's like same. You can identify from here, but still, this is the another way to identify whether your CPU is being used at max percentage or not. Same thing for memory. Okay, you can see it's like stable at 10%, I think. Yeah, 10%. Disk, same thing. Okay, I'm not doing anything, so you can see disk is like literally my SSD is not being used at all, which means my PC is in really good condition. Make sure that if you're not using your PC for any file transfer or anything like that, you will always see the 0% or 1% maximum. You can see here it's at 0%. So there is no software that is using my disk for anything. If you see these numbers higher, make sure to check which software is using that. Same thing for HDD. So I have HDD installed in my PC. Okay, one is SSD, one is HDD, and you can see HDD is actually going like 1 2 3 1 2 3. That's because I'm recording and all my files are being saved in HDD, and I know for a fact that the OBS is using my HDD, the tiny amount. So I know there is no problem. So if I'm not doing any file transfers, it will be 0 for sure. So same thing for internet. Like you're not using your internet for anything, but still your internet is being used at some percentage. You should also check that, which software is using your internet. It's very simple. So same thing for GPU. You can see, as I said, you just need to click on these numbers and you will find out which is using your resources. It's very simple. So now for one more example, let's try to find out what is using our disk. 1%. You can see our disk is being used at 1%. So I'm just going to click on it, and whatever software is using the max percentage of my disk, it will pop up at the top. So you can see OBS FF MPEG mux.exe is using my disk. And I know what is this software. This is the software related to OBS. And I know for sure that this is safe and I want it and I run it myself. So it's really safe. So that's it. If you know these things, your PC will never be slow. I guarantee you. Okay. So now let's talk about the other stuffs that might not be available here in Task Manager. I just want to keep these things very simple. So let's just talk simply. Okay. So if you still, if you see these numbers are like below 10 or 5, okay, and that means your PC is in good condition, but still your PC is like, you feel like it's not the same as you bought it newly. Okay, it's not fast as it was before. So there might be major two problems: hardware problem and some kind of virus or spyware. Okay, sometime you can find out the viruses here, they are kind of software. Spywares, they are also software. Okay, they are just bad softwares. That's how we put it. Okay, so sometime Task Manager cannot identify them. even if you click on these numbers. Okay, they can hide themselves. Some I don't know which one. Okay, I don't even know the name of the viruses and spywares, but you see these numbers are higher, and you click on these numbers, nothing pops up, like everything looks normal, but still the GPU, CPU, or memory or disk usage is higher. You can't find out which software is using your RAM or CPU or GPU. That means it's probably some kind of virus which has hidden itself. Okay, in that case, you may need to install the Windows again, do the reinstall or whatever you can, or use some kind of antivirus to remove that virus if that antivirus can remove. Sometime if virus gets installed, it's really hard to uninstall. It's even hard to find where is the virus or anything like that. Even the antivirus cannot find that and cannot remove that. So in that is like major problem. So in that case, you just need to reinstall the Windows. So that's my suggestion. Okay, and one more thing, we talked about the hardware problem. So it could be anything. It could be your CPU is like overheating. Okay, or GPU is overheating. When CPU and GPU overheats, your PC gets really slow. Yeah, I know that for real. So thankfully, we have in Task Manager, we have a monitor, the temperature monitor actually. Okay, so you can see my GPU is sitting at like 44 percentage, which means it's okay. It's in good condition. If you see your CPU, uh, temperature above 60 when you're gaming or anything like that, then that means it's still good. But if you're not doing anything and still your GPU temperature is like 60 or above, that means there is a problem with your GPU. Maybe your cooling system is bad, or you need to replace, or you need to give some air to your PC. Don't put your PC in hot place. Okay, so yeah, something like that. You know how to cool your PC, I'm for sure. Okay, if you live in a really hot place, you may want to install a cooler or AC, something like that. And otherwise, maybe it's the fault of your CPU or GPU. So same thing goes for the CPU. Sadly, we don't have the CPU temperature monitor in Task Manager, but you can find some third-party softwares for free. Okay, if you want, I will put link in the description for CPU and GPU monitoring, temperature monitoring software that I recommend. Okay, but I don't use any third-party software because I have the MSI Dragon Center, which actually gives me the CPU temperature too. So I don't even have to install any other extra software for that. If you don't have a MSI PC or MSI laptop, then you won't get this. So two, for that, as I said, I will put link in the description for some kind of software. You can go there, download, and check out your CPU and GPU temperature. For the GPU, you can still use the Task Manager. It's pretty accurate. Okay, it's same. So in CPU temperature, you can see it's CPU temperature. It's also 40%. For the CPU, it's same. If you see CPU temperature going above 60 to 70, then that means there is a problem with your cooling system for CPU, and maybe your place you live in is very hot. Okay, you need to make your PC cool. I don't know how you do that. Maybe put some fans, extra fans, or maybe have some better cooling system. Maybe install some AC, as I said. Okay, so in my case, you can see I'm recording this video and I'm using OBS. You can see it's sitting at 40%. When I game, my CPU goes like around 50 to 60%, which is good. I mean, gaming, when you do the gaming, you really need more CPU and GPU power. So then it's like it's obvious to get CPU and GPU a little bit more hotter. Okay, they get a little bit hot, but they won't go above 60 and 70. Okay, it just depends on, like, 50, 60 is the good, really good. But it's, if your place is little bit more hot, like the temperature of your place is higher, then maybe it might go around 60 to 70. The normal is 50 to 60, and the best is 40 to 50. Okay, I have seen some of my friends CPU monitor. They have like 25 to 30, which means they might have installed the AC. I don't, so sadly. Okay, so that's like the best. 20 to 30 temperature is the best, and after that, 20 to 40, we can say 20 to 40, and normal is like 40 to 60, and okay is like 60 to kind of 80, but not go 80, 70. Yeah, 60 to 70. That's like okay. But if the temperature goes above 70, it's not good for the CPU. But for the GPU, same, but just numbers are a little bit lower, like 60 for the GPU. Okay, GPU should not go above 60, 65. Max 70, it's okay, but still I recommend like 60. Everybody recommends 60. Okay, I don't know, I talk too much, I'm confused myself, but hopefully you understood what I'm trying to say here. Okay, the temperature. Yeah, that's that. These are the problems. Okay, more common problems. And same thing can be said for the uh, disk. SSDs actually gets hotter. I don't know how to monitor the SSD's temperature, but if you use your SSD like continuously and for game or anything like that, it gets hot. You can do the search by yourself too on the Google or Bing, whatever you use, or maybe DuckDuckGo. Yay. And you'll find out that SSDs are hotter. Like when you use them, they are hotter than the HDD. So if you can, try to play games on HDD if you can. If no, then maybe, you know, SSD. It's okay. I also I also use SSD because I haven't found any problem yet. But uh, SSDs fails faster, which means, you might need to get a new SSD after 4 to 5 years, maybe even 2 to 3 years. You need to get the new SSD if that fails. Actually, you can use some kind of software to find out if your disk is getting like old, like it's not good as it was. You can use some kind of software. Let me do the quick search. Yeah, I found this article here. Oh, yeah, you can also get the temperature of the disk too. I didn't know about that. Okay. But now I know. We know, okay? We know both together, okay? It's a good thing. So you can say you can use this software, Crystal Disk Info. I think it's totally free. Yeah, don't worry. I will put link in the description. I will find out where is this software, and you can go there, download this. Okay, so here you can see if we use this software, we can find out whether our disk is in good condition or bad condition. You can see it says yes, health status good, temperature 25 degrees Celsius or something like that. So yeah, you can use some kind of softwares to actually find out whether your disk is failing or a disk is in bad condition or good condition. So that's good. That's good. And that's all I need to say about the your PC is getting slower and how to identify or anything like that. Whatever you had in your mind, I'm sure that some of these things were useful for you, whatever I talked about. So all you need to learn is task manager, how to use it and how to identify the softwares and all that. And yeah, that's it. If it's a hardware problem, then you may need to replace the hardwares. Or if it's temperature problem, you may need to install the AC or just get some cooler place or something like that. So yeah, these are the most common issues with the PC getting slow. Okay, the most common issues. And yeah, and I think one more we can say about the Windows itself. Sometime the Microsoft might push some weird buggy update that might also cause the problem of making your PC slow. Okay, sometime it's not like always, but uh, if that happens, they actually push the fix patch to fix update to. So you may need to update for 1 or 2 days. So they will fix that problem, the Microsoft themselves. But yeah, that is also a issue. Sometimes the Windows updates are buggy and they also cause the problem. For now, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. And let me know in the comment section below what do you think about this video. Okay, was it helpful or not? And if you have any question in your mind, okay, you can drop your question in the comments and I will try to help you out. I will try to answer your question. So for now, that's it. I think we talked too much and hope this video was helpful for you guys. And that's it. I talked too much. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this. I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and have fun. Bye bye.